Hoy hoy. Picture this. You're an up-and-coming plucky sound designer working on your first big project. The client has a simple ask for you. Make a fireball sound effect. You get to work combining layers, making decisions, processing your sounds, and before you know it, a fine fireball sound effect is made. Mission accomplished. Months go by and you start working on a brand new project. And lo and behold, this new client also needs a fireball sound effect. Well, you know how to make one of those, so you reach for the same or similar sounds that you did last time, and boom, you make a fireball sound effect even faster than last time. And over the years, this cycle starts to repeat. You have new and returning clients asking you for fireball sound effects left and right. And because you know how to make them, or at least you know how to make this one that you made earlier with some slight modifications, you just keep reaching for the same things over and over and over again. You might have access to a vast library of sounds where you can start to make newer and cooler and more interesting fireball sound effects, but doing things this way where you just reach for what you know is so much faster. And after all, when you start to play with new layers, things start to slow down. They start to get more frustrating. They start to get more difficult. So you stick to the same fireball formula forever. After a few years of this cycle repeating, you look around and realize that your sound design skills haven't improved as much as you hoped they would over that period of time. Sure, you may know how to do just a handful of things quickly over and over and over again, but you're in a bit of a self-constructed prison of being able to do just those few things over and over and over again. As someone who's been freelancing in the world of sound design full-time for 12 years now, I see this scenario pop up all the time when people pick up really great fancy sound effects libraries but don't dive deep and really learn them. Even though I think they're an important, and I dare say essential part of working as a sound designer, getting into this trap is all too common. So let's start to really learn how to use a sound effects library, whether it be the one I show off in this video or the ones that you already have, and stop using them as a crutch. Now, for this video, I was given the Core 6 Pro sound effects library from Pro Sound Effects, so special thanks to them. You can check out their stuff in the description below, and I'll be letting you know about some game audio goodies that you can get from them at the end of this video. Now, the first thing you'll want to do when you pick up one of these libraries or just want to learn something that you already have is play a little bit of what I call genre roulette. Think of a genre. It could be absolutely anything, something like anime, sci-fi, medieval, anything like that. Bonus points if it's a genre that you don't necessarily think about. For example, maybe you don't work with car sound effects very often, so you start to type in Cadillac or Chevrolet or things like that. From there, just spend 5 minutes poking around and just listening. You'll start to see and hear that there are sound effects that you probably already have that you've never reached for before that could be helpful in whatever projects you're working on right now. Just spending 5 minutes a day on this can make a huge difference in the mental map that you have of the sound effects on your computer, thus making all of your work more interesting and faster in the future. Next, you can simply learn by mashing a bunch of layers together. Let's say you decide on a sound that you want to make, and it doesn't even have to be to video or any sort of visual reference. It can be something like a whoosh or a gunshot or even a fireball. Just set a timer for 10 minutes, the sound doesn't need to be good by the end of the 10 minutes, and then start to mash a bunch of layers together in the category that you're working in. You might even start to use some of the sound effects from the previous exercise that you may not have ever used if you didn't go looking for them. Now, I'll dive more into the exact process of layering in a follow-up video to this, but I have a technique that I call the HMLS technique that helps build full sounds within a very short period of time. It works like this. Go into your DAW and make 4 separate tracks. One titled High, the next titled Middle, the next titled Low, and the last one titled Style, H, M, L, and S. The first 3 tracks, high, middle, and low, denote the frequency range of content that you're going to be putting on those tracks. And the style layer is kind of the most interesting. It's the sound that you're going to put in that just comes out of left field that doesn't necessarily fit with the sound that you're trying to make. For example, it might be a tiger growl underneath a sword swing. It'll enhance the sound, it'll add style to it, but it's not necessarily something that would normally fit. Then all you do is start looking for content that fits within those frequency ranges and then find a style layer to mash in there. So you'll find some high, middle, and low frequency content, and that's all relative based on what the sound itself is, and then layer them on top of one another, time them, add a style layer, and then hit play. You can handle all the processing and panning and timing and all that stuff later, but within 10 minutes, you'd be surprised how thick and full of a sound you can make. And you'll learn more about your sound effects library very quickly. And one of my favorite things to do, and probably the most common thing I do, is simply open up my library twirl the mouse wheel as fast as I can, and then just randomly start clicking. Doing this method, I find a lot of sounds that I never would have really searched for on my own. And sometimes it creates a happy accident where I actually find some interesting layers that I can use for the project I'm working on right then and there. I tend to rely on this method when I don't really feel like I know what I'm doing, which happens a lot. Like, a lot. Now, in follow-up videos in this series, I'm going to be talking about how to create good, thick, full sounds using a sound effects library and help you realize that you can do quite a bit with libraries like this one and the stuff that you already have sitting on your computer. The key is when you have a quality library that has great metadata like this one, you can search, you can reach for, and you can find interesting sounds very quickly. You just don't want to fall to the dark side and start reaching for the same things over and over and over again. And if you want to go all in and grab the sound effects library that I showed off a little bit in this video, or just want to check out Pro Sound Effects' very good work, head to the link in the description below. If you head to the link, you'll even see that they have a free game audio pack that they've curated that you can start using in your projects right away. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Go pet a dog.